I'm going to begin today by reading one of my favorite quotes from Meher Baba. This is from the Discourses. From the spiritual point of view, the only important thing is to realize divine life and to help others realize it by manifesting it in everyday happenings. To penetrate into the essence of all being and significance, and to release the fragrance of that inner attainment for the guidance and benefit of others by expressing in the world of forms truth, love, purity, and beauty. This is the sole gain that has intrinsic and absolute worth. All other happenings, incidents, and attainments in themselves can have no lasting importance. So I began writing poems when I was in prep school. I wrote a few in college and graduate school. And when I came to Bob, I wrote a few more. Nothing really significant. Maybe a few that people seem to like. I wrote one that both Adi Kairani and Kitty Davey really loved. And then years passed, and when Bal Kachuri started coming to the center, occasionally I'd write a poem and read it to him at breakfast. And he would say, I really like these. And at one point he told Anita, he said, gather these all together and get them published. Well, I didn't give it much mind at all. First of all, I didn't have much of a body of work. I didn't really think I was that good. And so I just let it go by. During the beginning of COVID, something changed. I began to wake up at 3, 4, 5 in the morning with a line or two in my head. I'd get up, silently go to another room and write a poem. And it usually took about 20 to 30 minutes. On the way back to the bedroom, I would stop at the fireplace where there's a mantle with Baba's photograph, and I would present a poem to Baba. And this went on, and after a while, I stopped waking up in the night to do it, and I started writing in the morning when I woke up. But similar kind of thing. Usually there was a line or a couple lines, sometimes even a stanza, 2 stanzas, and more. So I say this because recently someone asked me about a poem, and I had forgotten a poem entirely, and I went back and looked it up, and going back and looking, I found this, huge chain of poems and realized that maybe I've written 400 poems in the last 3 or so years. And I wanted to read a few that I sort of stumbled upon or came across and looking for this one for this person. I should say again that these poems take 20 to 30 minutes. I write them in block letters, either on a legal pad or a piece of paper, and then Anita types them up. In the last year or so, I've asked Anita to title them, and I'm very happy with the titles. Occasionally, I'll have a specific title in mind, but I really like what Anita's done that way. So, because it's the holiday season, Christmas is upon us, I thought I'd just read some of these poems that I came across. And this first one was from Christmas Eve, 2020. It's titled A Life in 2 Stanzas. I carry the world in my head, information from a lifetime, scenes from travels, images from dreams. I am nearly an old man now. There is a distillation of sorts, somewhat soggy around the edges, like a not quite right souffle. Retrieval not up to par. What was it he said? Was I even there? I remember odd bits, some hauntingly beautiful, like a Krishna temple. On the way from Pune, the women doing laundry by the banks of the river, and how loud the crows were. I remember that as clearly as the moment I drove by, thinking to myself, I must never forget this. I carry you in my heart, always, emblazoned there. I do not forget this, nor do I take it for granted. Time may ravage me. It will do what it does. But you are always there. Always. I love the sound of that word. It covers everything. It allows all, like you do, smiling at me as I teeter and totter, a little slower each day, never judging me. My body bends more. I am giving way to gravity. I don't mind. Some fine day, my head will find my heart, and the two will bend, and they will bow. They will become one and find themselves forever at your feet. Now this next one's titled A Murmuration of the Heart. And a murmuration, for those of you that don't know or haven't heard the word, is a group or a flock of starlings. And you may have seen it usually happens, this murmuration happens at dusk, at twilight. And it'll be a group that twists and turns and swoops and swirls across the sky. It's a beautiful thing. They sort of shapeshift into clouds. So this is titled A Murmuration of the Heart. Anita sits beside me, reading about why people turn blue. I sit pondering this ominous day. Ice storm forecast. High probability. Life is like this now. The world upside down. People turning colors. Storm warnings. We sit securely. I hear an occasional phrase. Blood oxygen levels was the last thing Anita said. I was born with a heart murmur. Systolic is what I've been told. Congenital is what it is. A certain disruption in the chambers of the heart. One door opens, another can't quite close. Something to watch, something to look out for, like the time we live in. No one knows when this will end. We go on living our best. For some, there is a beacon, a light within. For others, there is a darkness, a gathering gloom. I hear Anita say 3 words. There is hope. I have forgotten the context. Suddenly my heart is a flock of starlings. My heart is taking wing. I am leaving this world behind. My heart going directly to where it always goes, whenever I remember you, where I always go, whenever I leave myself behind. Ice melting. I remember the gold stars on my papers, the teachers' smiles and encouragement, a feeling of infinite possibility, that I was capable of just about anything. I traveled 20,000 leagues under the sea. I lived on Treasure Island. Huck Finn was a friend of mine. The Hardy Boys took me on every adventure. If I could talk to that boy now, what would I have to say? If I know anything, it is that I know nothing at all. What happened when I came before you? You did not change the direction I was going. You did not make my life any easier. You took my hand, and I never let go. My life is like ice melting after a storm. Trees weighted by an almost too much accumulation regain their original shape, and the landscape sparkles and gleams once more. Your love is like this. My life is shaped by your love. Ice melting, the water running, running straight for the arms of your ocean. The Gulmore Tree. The flame of the forest is blooming again. The May breeze is singing in the Gulmore Tree. I have forgotten so much these past years. This memory brings with it such sweet poignancy. I heard someone laughing outside my window. I was repeating your name again and again. This laughter was joyous and intimate, so familiar. Somehow it reminded me of time spent with you. The laughter has ceased. My room is silent. I gaze out the window and I see a light-filled landscape. I turn within myself. I see that tree, a flame, a fire. Where was I when I first felt that spring breeze? What happened when it rippled my heart? Those waves are still moving within my chest. This memory is more than I can contain. You are with me, in me, around me. Everything reminds me of you. If one could look within my chest, they would behold that ever-burning tree. Take me to your infinite sky. Late summer afternoon, the sibilance of crickets, the murmur and babble of stream, sitting and gazing, nearly dozing, a gentle breeze touching my forehead. I am lost and found. Across the valley, twin peaks, rock faces glinting, granite moisture glistening, a sharp-shinned hawk settling on the currents, floating, spread-winged, circling, a hummingbird gathering nectar at a dahlia and patch of clover, a momentary scent of jasmine. Imagine a harmony of bees giving thanks and taking wing. The chipmunk is more active today, scurrying, hurrying, making ready for something I cannot begin to know. My reverie ends this way. Are you here? Are you not always here? The difficult dreams of last night evaporate like the fog of early morning. My place is not of this world. I see your arms reaching out to me from an impossibly happy, fluffy cloud. My spirit whispers, for none but you to hear. Embrace me. Take me to your infinite sky. Now, I should say that Mara Dennison said that I was the only person who could possibly get away with using fluffy in a poem and make it work. So, this next poem is titled Caravan at Sunset. And I found that I'd written 2 other caravan poems. I'm just going to read this one today. And this one is from the title of a painting that Anita and I got a couple years ago by the famous Orientalist artist Edwin Lord Weeks. And he traveled in 1895 and 1896 through Persia and India and was on a caravan a good part of that time. And he wrote a great travelogue, which I have. The book's long out of print, and I've forgotten the title of it right now, but it is wonderful and very descriptive of his travels through Persia and India. This is titled Caravan at Sunset. We measure time and distance in these grains of sand. Today, an almost astronomical amount. We hold infinity in the palms of our hands. There is nothing easy in the desert. Hard times and illusory shadows abound. The only softness, the only sound, are animals' footfalls in the fluid sand. We keep going. We are intent. Our journey nearing its end. Today we are too tired to talk. What value are words anyway? I lie awake watching a parade of stars. The animals have been fed and watered. A shooting star bisects a crescent moon. I drift off dreaming of you. When I awaken, we will begin again. My companions and I all in motion. The tinkling of the bells are music. We follow the sun by day, the stars at night. You might ask what keeps me going. I will tell you, my dear, right now. The light that shines on my beloved's face. The sound of the waterfall deep within my heart. This next one I wrote on the 4th of July, 2020. Somehow it seems like a true American poem. The moonlight was my squaw. As a child, I wept when the Indian brave was shot by the cowboy. It always appeared that the Winchester was more accurate than the bow, the bullet more lethal than the arrow. Later I adopted the headband, beads and hair, even smoked the pipe of peace. I walked many miles in my brother's moccasins, always scouting, always on the lookout, searching the plains, searching the skies. The moonlight was my squaw. I am the eye of the eagle, the strength of the bear, the silent step of the deer. I lie down in the sweet grass. Sending smoke signals, beating the drum, walking on the edge of the intersection between two worlds, looking for my tribe, looking for my chief. I am the eye of the eagle, the strength of the bear, the silent step of the deer. I lie down in the sweet grass. When I could no longer walk the walk of shame, when I could no longer walk the walk of tears, I stopped walking. But you had tracked me, followed my every step. There was nowhere left to go. This next one I wrote January 25th of this year, the day that Theus Momberg passed away. It's titled The Desert Blooming. Sand blasted, sand scarred, sand washed. My friend passes over the last dunes, never to be seen again. This desert is more than enough for me. Every day another storm, sand etched, sand pitted, sand scarred. My exterior a sand sculpture in a sand castle. My interior broken and gutted. The oasis mirage, a painful reminder. Kinder days when storms brought rain, when there was greenery and gardens, and the world seemed delicate and lovely and beautiful. I dream the dream and keep going. Someday this desert will bloom. I only hope I will see this, the fragrance of rose, jasmine, and more. Last night the sky became an ocean. I heard the stars and planets roar. I heard the crashing of worlds colliding. There were waves across the surface of the moon. How can I tell you what I beheld when first I looked into your eyes? You spoke to me without a single syllable, your silence breaking all I once knew. Patience. I heard the stories about those that left it all behind. Family, work, all that they knew. They wandered to jungles, mountains, far-off places. Why did they go? What were they running from? What were they leaving behind? Who were they expecting to meet? Questions never fully answered. Last evening I saw a snail carrying its home on its back. I nearly stepped on him as the light was fading fast. This morning I saw him again in the path of danger and gently moved him from harm's way. My path is not unlike the snail. I carry my home with me, wherever I go, always looking for your hands to provide direction, to shelter me from the storm. This next one, I owe credit to both Balkachuri and Erich Jesawala, because they both told me the same thing years ago, long before 2001. They asked me if I knew what jihad meant. They said no. I said I'd heard certain things. They said, the battle is within. The war is behind the higher and lower self. Lord of the helpless. This battle is fierce. This war is consuming me. I have taken off my armor, and a legion of new enemies await their opportunity to slay me. My banner is helplessness and hopelessness. Its flag is soiled and tattered. My constant calls go unheeded. I am weak and weary. I am not prepared to surrender, although I have no strength left. Through the smoke and haze, I see your sweet face as you arrive on your white horse, and realize reinforcements are here. Behold, the Lord of the helpless. It's all a battlefield. I hold on. I stroll these streets, boulevards, and alleys. I see the grifters, drifters, and dreamers. I watch the sleight of hand of tricksters and fraudsters. I walk on by the phenomena of this mirage. The world is a circus full of sideshows. Do not believe anything you see. Believe less what you hear. The world is a ball made of the yarn of nothing. Yesterday, my mind was troubled, the weight of the world raining down. I could not find your umbrella. You sent a choir of birds singing in my yard. You let me know all will be well. You show me again and again. If I had rock-like faith in you, I would not need your loving reminders. Today I witnessed the bravery of a child. I saw love in the eyes of his father. I heard a troubled voice become soft and silken. I glimpsed myself in each and every one. Oh, beloved, what a companion and master you are. You take the dregs of me. You turn me upside down and inside out. I hold on to you as the world spins by. Enough is never enough. Anita is reading Tukaram as I recline in bed. My heart is a river overflowing its banks. I hear the distant tinkling of the caravan bells. I hear the temple bells reverberating within me. I know who I am when we are together. I must have spent eons looking for you. I found you were everywhere that I was not. Oh, beloved, I cannot stand this separation. I have made my heart a magnet. You are the infinite attractor. My pulse resides in you. My longing has become a burning forest. What was that music I heard last night? I glimpsed you conducting a symphony. When I awoke, I realized I was dreaming. Enough is enough, beloved. Wake me once and for all. You set before me a bountiful banquet. You provide everything at this table of abundance. I am grateful for all that you give and have given. Still, enough is never enough. I should be satisfied with all that is given. I am, beloved, but this helplessness persists. I am hopelessly kneeling at the door of infinity. I have nowhere else to go. Your gift. Your touch made my heart a ruin. Your gift is my complete destruction. Your glance is my undoing and elimination. Your blessing is my dissolution and dilapidation. What loneliness when you are hidden. The sun and planets just lumps in the sky. The flowers and grasses lack luster and luminance. Even the birds trill and chirp out of tune. Come, beloved, reveal yourself. How many pieces are there to my heart? It has broken so many times I can't begin to count. I am here. I await you here. I await all things where I am. Every instant is a message. Everything comes from you. I heard the wind take your name. I heard the children sing your name. I heard the traffic on the street shout your name. Even the walls of my room whisper your name. My heart is housed in a temple of ruins. My mind has taken refuge elsewhere. Rescue me, beloved. Reveal your sweet face once again. And now the last one. The glory of your name. My life was a many-storied disaster. I had been crushed by calamity's mountains, buried in the avalanche of love's ruin, burnt to ash and scattered to the four winds. I sought to love you more and more. You gifted me with ailments and difficulties. The more decrepit and desperate I became, the more I relied wholly and solely on you. I am a recipient of your many gifts. Afflictions abound, difficulties descend, troubles surround. You must be as impatient to be with me, beloved, as I am with you. I am constantly calling you, Baba, Baba, Baba. Now that you have become everything to me, now that I have gotten your attention, my only thought is of you, beloved. I sing, I dance, I am intoxicated in the glory of your name. This love is madness, yet I keep smiling. I know you, the elusive one, will make your appearance. I am faithless except for this. I am certain you are always with me. I have been given your divine assurance, written before the beginningless beginning. You will remove me from myself, your glory eternally realized. That's it. That's all. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Jai Baba.